G'day, my name is Zach.
And I'm Sam, and welcome to the third instalment of Pub Night.
Where we drink and you watch.
That's it, mate.
We're getting better at this.
Third intro on the trot.
I reckon we're getting better at this, guys. Don't you worry. To our viewers, this is a process that we're just gonna let you know. This is gonna keep happening whether you guys fucking watch or not. This shit is gonna happen. So you just need to accept it.
Yep.
Just need to accept it.
It's gonna fucking happen every time, guys.
Now, we've got an interesting week of news yet again this week. More controversy within NRL. What a surprise.
And on top of that, we're just around the corner of the kickoff of round 3 with the restart of the season. So tips and info on that coming later.
We'll be talking about that. We've had a bit of controversy with Cody Walker as well.
Yeah, we'll delve more into that later once we get into the story.
It's a very deep topic. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about
more in depth. Second thing, we've also got Mike Tyson. Putting back on the gloves, getting back into the gym, and supposedly having a fight coming up soon.
Some more fucking ears bitten off. That's the way.
Yeah, mate. He's probably got a collection of them these days.
There's probably got a wall mount collection of those things these days. What else are we talking about today? I've kind of lost it, to be honest.
Mate, I've lost track as well. But I've also got Alan Jones retiring from radio after a long career. We might touch on briefly later. And and then we've got some more stories. Let's not sugarcoat it. It's pretty brief this week, but let's fucking get into it.
Yep, let's get into it, guys. And to be honest, while we're talking on that point, there's some really important news here. I'm not going to steal Sam's thunder, so I'm just going to let him go. We've got an update from last episode, so Sam, take it away, mate.
So as you know, last episode, it was mentioned that I had a job interview the next day after filming at a cafe, which I will not obviously disclose where and what it is called. But yeah.
So don't find your fucking videos.
Yeah, find my fucking videos and fucking fire me quicker than they fucking hired me. So job interview, rocked up, surprised me not hungover. Had a little chat, and you know what? We've got the job. We've secured it.
Deserves a round of applause.
I'll clap myself. I don't know if many of you realise, but for quite a long time I was quite unemployed, to say the fact.
And before that, Top Juice.
Before it's a long time ago.
And graced his presence.
I have been referred to by some as Santa Claus, as I would work one day a year on average.
Yeah, Bailey, you're getting your shout out, mate. Your classic really shit joke that you pull.
What classic shit joke? And we'll give you that, but we won't give you uni marks.
Yeah, well, no, like we had. Look, we're gonna go into the feedback in just a moment.
As we are actually, but when we filmed the second episode, the first one hadn't even been released. Yeah. So in this episode, we'll touch back on feedback and comments about how we're going.
So the basic way to put that is we're arrogant shits. We didn't even post the first episode.
We just, we were just so confident it was going to be fucking amazing. And we weren't absolutely bricking it because we feared we sounded like fucking drunken morons.
And we do.
We do, and apparently people like that.
Apparently people like that. And I'm going to make a clear point that I was talking to Sam earlier today. This is the most drunk we've been before an episode. Now, we've only filmed 2 episodes.
This is the third.
This is the most drunk we have been.
By a long shot. Usually, guys, we'll have a few beers before, and then we'll kick off and keep, drinking as we go along. But this time, we've kind of gone ham on the prees, and Zach has, a bit of evidence to show us how hard we've gone here. Yeah,
look, we tried to get the Tomova vodka from last week, but it seems...
Unfortunately, ALDI weren't backing their own stocking.
High demand. So we've gone for the Ruskov, which I'm sure will be interviewed.
I'm sure enough you guys know about the Ruskov vodka. The cheapest thing on the shelf.
In far along a few weeks. $32 from BWS. Our personal opinions, not official opinions from the podcast, because that'll come later.
Yeah, it's not an in-depth opinion here.
It's an alright vodka.
And it's what we used to call bang for your buck.
We've drunk.
It's almost all gone, and
it's almost all gone.
We've only just turned on a fucking camera.
And I'm worried about the gin, to be honest with you. That's what we're going to be reviewing this week, an ALDI gin, which we'll get into later.
Yeah, don't usually drink a lot of gin, but we'll see how this goes.
So the biggest feedback we've gotten so far is Facebook. Actually, surprisingly enough, they've we've gotten our first endorsement, guys.
We do.
We'll throw the screenshot up on the screen if we can be bothered, which I really hope we can.
I'll get to it.
We'll get to it in the editing stage.
I'll find it. Don't worry, guys.
Facebook has said, Zach and Sam's pub night got more new likes this week. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, thanks Facebook. your auto, generated message has really pushed us to give it, the extra mile.
Zuckerberg, you sick dog, you're loving our podcast.
Mate, by all rights, you may be a lizard. Thanks for supporting us in this
fucking lizard
podcast.
person, but you know what? As long as you're watching this, then we don't give a shit. So,
Mark Zuckerberg would love to hear your story.
On top of that, we had some great advice. Firstly, from my grandma. My grandma's
Nana Grenfell.
Nana, I call her Nana. Carolyn Grenfell. She's found out our podcast. I just want to say, firstly, thank you for not ratting me out to my mum.
Because that was a really grim conversation.
Yeah, it was a really grim first episode where I completely incriminalised her. So it's only a matter of time before she finds this. But at the end of the day, you know what?
It's probably almost a matter of time before the feds knock on the door.
Look, I'm stuck in the mud here. The podcast is already filmed. I'm not going to delete the first episode. It's there. It's there. So thanks, Grandma, for not ratting me out. Grandma said she loved it.
Didn't Nana watch it twice?
She watched it twice. I don't know how she did it, but she watched it twice. She loved it. To be honest, she loves a drink. So I'm not surprised that she's watching this. She probably didn't even find this by the fact that I'm one of her friends on Facebook. She probably just found this by scrolling through.
Yep, she's probably watching it right now.
There you go. So shout out to Nana. We love you. Just keep watching, just like everyone else, hopefully.
I got a second bit of feedback now.
There you go.
Quite a funny one from Lloyd. He's basically determined the show to be Cold Ones, but with two blokes who aren't alcoholics yet. If you know us, I'll leave that up to your opinion whether we are alcoholics or not. But I reckon it sways more one way than the other.
It's a critique point. We appreciate your feedback. Another point we did get, which was kind of fair enough, was I was out with a good mate on Friday night and getting absolutely pissed.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do, especially during quarantine. And she said, I was really interested in you reviewing some alcohol. And then you didn't really talk about it. You talked about it for 1 minute and said it was shit, which for reference was the Tomova vodka.
Yep, where we had a shot of it.
We've taken that criticism on board. We'll talk about the alcohol.
We'll lengthen it out a bit more in depth.
Considering this is actually a podcast about reviewing alcohol, we really should talk about it
which,
more.
sometimes we do forget. As we just ramble.
We're just forgetful. We just forget it about like that. Another point of criticism. Not point of criticism.
Maybe a bit of a compliment. Just an observation.
An interesting comment was my mate said that our don't mind me, I got burps coming out because of the vodka. 32 minutes of Sam and I flirting. What's your comment on that, Sam?
Honestly, mate, I guess I'm doing something right if people can pick it up.
Yeah, look, you're doing better than a lot of white guys if you can at least pick up the flirting. So got something going strong for you there. I'll give you that.
Mate, it is what it is. It's how we operate.
Look, I'm just going to make it a clear point. Here at Pub Night, we're receptive of our audience. We want to hear from you guys. If you guys want us to review something, talk about something, just tell us.
Speaking of feedback, I've got a lot of messages of people asking to come onto the podcast and be a guest. And I'll tell you this, like, you got to have something interesting to talk about. Really, if you can convince me, we might have a bit of a round robin sort of thing, and then maybe you can all just fight to the death and the winner comes on.
Well, that's it. It's Hunger Games style, you guys. Like we got a lot of feedback coming in from this podcast. So
Warzone's in theme right now. So
you need to fight for your place,
ladies and gentlemen. Hop on the Verdansk and fight for the win.
Speaking on another point, we actually got some good comments on our Jason Derulo section.
A lot of people liked it.
I don't know. I'm going to be real with you guys because, like I said, Pub Night, we're going to try and be as authentic as possible. I mean,
honestly,
yeah,
that was authentic as it got because it was unplanned and absolute fucking ramble.
Yeah, Dobbin didn't actually expect me to say that, and to be honest, I didn't expect me to say that. I just went with it. I was just listening to Jason Derulo on the bus on the way there.
Yeah.
But another point, we're gonna keep on with the 2000s music.
Do a little bit of chat every time, like, because before this podcast, we listen to a bit of Spotify to get in the mood. And what do we listen to this week, Zach?
What do we listen to this week? We listen to an absolute god, in my opinion.
Absolute king in the dance industry.
I'm a fan of his music. Calvin Harris. Everyone knows Calvin Harris.
Everyone's second favourite after Avicii.
Yeah. And
rest in peace.
David Guetta is pretty up there, I would say. I'm a big fan of David Guetta. 12-year-old Zach loved some David Guetta.
And I won't lie to you, 12-year-old Sam also did, vibe to the David Guetta tunes.
Look, all I'm going to say is fucking if 13-year-old you wasn't listening to Sexy Bitch on your fucking iPod Touch, then you are a degenerate.
Mate, if you weren't just kicking back at home at the end of year 6, fucking blasting Titanium through your speakers, I don't know what you were fucking doing. Mate, if you didn't hear Titanium at the school disco, did you really have a fucking primary school disco?
Oh, honestly, if you didn't hear Party Rock Anthem
Mate,
at your year 6 disco, then you didn't have a year 6 disco.
You've been on the fucking OJs. You've had about 4 or 5. Your sugar levels are fucking rising dangerously high, and you've gone, let's get our fucking boogie on.
We probably edited like 5 minutes of really bad chat from this, but back on to Calvin Harris.
The man himself.
The man, he throws hits out like they're nothing. I'm going to throw it to Dobbin.
Absolute club bangers.
What's your favourite Calvin Harris song?
Man, it's a tough one. Honestly, you put me on the spot here, but if I'm going to stick to, my roots back in the day, it's pretty tough between Summer and, of course, Bounce. Quite old ones, but in his repertoire, but fuck, they're good. How about you, Zach?
Alright, I have to put 2 down. Now I have to put 2 down. Like you, I'm gonna match it here. Feel So Close. Feel So Close. I love that song. And the second one, which is a bit of a newer one compared to his other discography, is
Big word.
I know. I can actually pronounce it.
Honestly, I probably can't even spell it.
Discography. What? It sounded grim.
Discography.
What?
Discombobulated.
Discography, I can pronounce it. One of his older discography was This Is What You Came For.
Yeah, bit of a Rihanna feature on that one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I had a bit of a personal moment because that was the song where I had my first kiss to. This Is What You Came For.
Yeah, as the song goes, did you came?
No. Alright, there's no winning here. Alright, so in return, we need to have a shot of gin.
No, we're not having a shot. You don't shot gin.
You don't want to have a shot of gin?
No, I want to have a fucking gin and tonic.
You're going to have a shot of gin?
No.
Come on.
Dude, you don't shot gin.
Just a bit of fun.
You don't shot gin.
Bro, we're full that fuck. We can have a shot of gin. Not even a full shot, just like a mini shot. I'll tell you what.
No boot.
Pull your drinkers chasers. We got the bucket. This is good content.
No, you don't shot gin.
We're going to do it. This is what we do on pub night, guys. We defy expectations. I really hope this isn't kept in because Nana's probably watching. But Nana, I love you. I've always wanted to ask, what kind of spirit do you hit? Before we go into this week's alcohol, we need to review the hangover effect of last week's alcohol.
Which was a Tomova vodka.
I almost forgot to review it.
We did. This almost slipped our mind.
We almost did. So we'll write up our scores and we'll see what you guys think.
Of course, it's out of 5 and it's the final factor for the overall score of the drink.
So see you guys in a second.
See you guys in a tick.
All right, so we have our scores written down for Tomova vodka, and I'm just gonna throw mine out there first because honestly, I had an alright day at work the next day. So I gave the vodka a 5 out of 5, and to be honest with you,
yeah, what's that?
Well, look, there's not many alcohols that gonna get that score, but I rocked up to work the next day. I felt fine. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. Rocked up to work. I felt okay.
How'd you manage that after finishing filming?
Look, I'm gonna make a point of it that I did have around about a liter of water afterwards, and around about a massive bottle.
Yeah, a lot of good strategy. A lot of water.
It
eases the hangover.
I said the wrong thing because I'm fucked. A massive bowl of spaghetti bolognese.
Carbs do help.
Water and spaghetti bolognese, and I woke up.
That's a winning recipe.
Fine as fiddle the next day. So if you guys drink this, make sure you have plenty of water with you, and make sure you've got some spag bowl.
A good bit of carbs in before you go to bed, and you'll wake up right as rain.
And what's Dobbin got for the score?
So
your point of view is you got the
similar opinion to Zach.
He had the job interview the next day.
I had the job interview the next day. So I'm giving this 4.5 out of 5. Honestly, like you said, I did a similar thing. Drank a lot of water when I got home. Had some carbs and rice before I went to bed. And I woke up almost completely fine. I rocked up to a job interview with no headaches, hangover, anything. My only criticism is I was a bit dusty in the morning.
Dusty.
Probably because I didn't sleep much, honestly.
Yeah.
But overall, like, there's not many spirits I can drink half a bottle of and be absolutely right as rain the next day.
So what we're going to do, we're going to write up our final scores because that's something we do on this show.
Yep, and then you'll see what the average is and overall rating for the vodka.
Just have to remember what our last scores were.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Alright, so in taking into account our hangover score for the Tomova vodka, my overall rating was 17 out of 25. Which in my opinion, obviously it's the best rating we've given so far.
17?
17 out of 25.
Jeez, that's a good
Quite
score.
good. Yeah, I rated it and I honestly reckon it's quite a good vodka to choose for a night out. What'd you give it, Zach?
I gave it... it was pretty close. It was quite similar. I gave it a 16 out of 25. What really pulled it out was, to be honest, most things. The price and the hangover effect in particular really pulled. I gave it an honest 5 or 4 point. No, I gave it a 4.5 out of 25. No, 4.5 out of 5. Sorry, that's my.
For
drunk
which
mind.
part?
For the hangover effect in particular.
No, mate, you gave it a 5. I gave it a 4.5.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I wrote this down like 3 minutes ago. I can't remember.
Yeah, overall we both gave very good scores for that.
It was a very good score. I was really drunk the next day. I'll be honest. I was so close to texting Sam the next day asking, not even asking, just demanding. We forgot to film the ratings for the Tomova vodka, and he reminded me that we did.
When in reality we were just too drunk and couldn't actually remember half the fucking shit we talked about.
We had a lot. Now, for this week's episode, we're reviewing... Again, we're continuing with the ALDI catalogue.
Until it runs out of good alternatives.
It's not going to go along. It's not going to go away for a long time because ALDI has a lot.
It's got a lot to choose from.
Has a lot to throw at us, but we're keeping in line with the spirits. We're keeping in line with the spirits.
Like last week, we've got a different type of spirit this week.
We have Darley'S gin.
Yep, London style gin.
That's something that's new to us. So. You know what? Gin is supposed to be drunk with something else, but we're gonna have a bit straight.
We're gonna try a little bit of shot.
Despite Dobbin's arguments, we're gonna have a little bit straight because that's what we're here at Pub Night. We're just changing things up. So we're gonna have an introduction. I can't read that. Here we go. With a depth of character featuring delicately balanced juniper flavored, Darley'S traditional dry gin is a refreshing, balanced and classic style gin. The perfect base for any quality martini or gin and tonic. Which I think we're going to have a few gin and tonics tonight.
Yeah, we will.
Proudly Australian made. And it's an exclusive to ALDI.
As I assume most of these are.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised. ALDI's not going to... They're not going to be able to sell this to many other places.
No chance.
No, I'm not worried. So, here we are. We're gonna have a bit of a shot to... shot of gin, and we've got a chaser ready because we don't know what this is going to be like.
This could be strange.
We've also it's a new concept from last episode. We've got the buckets still here, so don't you worry about that. We don't know how this is going to go down, so bear with us. Are we going to cheers to G Train again?
Cheers to G Train.
Cheers to G Train. I'm worried.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
He's close, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's Zach who's suffering.
Oh, did I have that straight? Oh.
I do understand why people don't take this as shots.
I understand now why people don't take this as shots. Oh my god.
Do you understand why I said that was a bad idea?
Yep.
I mean, it's clearly fucking bitter.
Look, I don't drink a lot of gin, but oh my god, I would only really give this to someone who was on a budget. Please don't drink this.
We haven't even given it our ratings yet officially, but that was fucking grim.
Jesus, that was terrible. No, I can't.
I assume you don't want another one.
I'll have a gin. Oh, I can't.
We'll have a G&T. Have a gin tonic.
I can taste the vodka in my drink. That's how bad it is.
And I'll just let it clear to everyone. We have some alternatives for gin and tonics that we will try throughout the rest of the episode.
Fuck those things, cunt. Give me a Coke. I don't fucking have a Coke. No.
Well, let me fucking finish.
Bro, that was
we've got a grapefruit tonic water here, which, I mean, it sounds good. It's probably going to be fucking ass. And then we've got a bitter lemon, which is, a classic.
You know what? Look, honestly, ALDI have done alright with the gin. You know what my honest opinion is, though? Is that gin is just not good. Gin, I just don't like gin.
I think there's a reason I've strayed away from it. Never really gone for gin and tonic.
Now, getting on to the point, because we got criticism last week about the fact that we didn't talk about the actual alcohol too much.
Talk enough about what we thought it would.
Alright, the price is obviously great, but the taste, I'm not a gin person.
Honestly, I have a counter argument to this. I think it probably, I mean, we can't compare it to anything else. We don't have two gins here. Like, our budget isn't, like, great. Again, out of our back pocket. I think we've only taken it straight, so we can't really judge it based off that, because you don't really have shots of gin.
This is true. There's not many people that have shots of gin. If you do, I'm really worried for you, because that was grim.
I'll build on that. If I ever meet someone who takes a shot of something like, I don't know, gin or like vodka, sinks it down and goes, fuck me, that was delicious, I think, honestly, I'd look at you and say, you're fucked in the head.
Yeah, I agree with Sam.
Yeah.
I'd be worried. If you take a shot of this shit, I'd be worried.
If you genuinely enjoyed a taste of fucking ethanol pure, like, say doctor.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and you know, in the later episode, we'll review that.
No, you do realise that drinking straight ethanol is gonna kill her.
Now that the last 20 minutes of the video has been corrupted, we're going to be going right from the start.
Unfortunately, we've had some technical difficulties, but...
Right from the start. I mean, like, what did you expect? Technical difficulties on a podcast like us. We're
not perfect.
We're working on this day by day. And you know what the beauty of the fact that we have corrupted stuff is? That the fact of the matter is, we drink more while it's corrupted.
Yep, so... the more the footage gets corrupted, the more fucking tipsy and fucky we are when we tell the stories.
That's it. All I'm going to say is that this was empty before it started corrupting. And now,
I was 2 drinks behind.
Now it's empty. So we're going to go right into it before the corrupted stuff. Now,
so, yeah, I'll take it. In the news, we have this week, as the NRL goes, more controversy every week. We have a video of Cody Walker emerging in a blackmail saga. Of him basically in a street of northern New South Wales, shirtless and on a night out, basically kicking someone square in the chest in a fight.
And look, honestly, without any contextual information whatsoever, it's controversial.
If we didn't know the backstory of this fact, we would have probably just laughed it off and said, oh, he's got a good kick on him.
Exactly right. Like, to be honest, we didn't understand the full contextual understanding until the media outlets explained that there was some more contextual understanding to it, because Cody Walker actually released a video of it.
Yeah, I think it was today on Tuesday is the night we're recording this.
He fully sent out a video explaining everything that happened.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to leave it to Dobbin because he understands it better. Yeah. But at the same time, we're going to originally just talk about it with pure perspectives, but
and more humour.
Yeah, more humour.
Without the backstory.
But there is more backstory to this, which I'm going to leave it.
Basically, I'll keep it very brief, as we don't have very much time, considering the corrupted recording. Cody Walker was on a night out with his family, and his cousin was approached by another group of people who kept threatening for him out of a fight. And as a result, Cody Walker kicked the person trying to fight his cousin to stop the fight happening. But on a deeper level, Cody Walker and his family had been going for a lot of family issues recently and a bit of grieving, which we won't get into too far because this podcast is meant to be quite lighthearted.
No, I don't. I think we need to respect the context that's happening right now.
Yeah.
It's a very serious topic without even us appreciating it before we got the full story of it.
Yeah.
I think the main point we want to say is that there was a lot of controversy drawn around it. At the end of the day, from pub night, we say that, look, Cody Walker, we hope that you're okay.
We hope the NRL respects the context and what was going on that led to that situation and treats him fairly. And we hope that, we can all move past this and move away from all this controversy with the NRL and players getting, riled up into fights by other people and just let them play the game.
Exactly.
And then just do their jobs.
That is what we want to do.
Yep.
That's what we want to do at the end of the day. We're being realistic here. At the end of the day, we want the players to
enjoy their sport, enjoy their careers, and not be harassed by people in the media
exactly.
at every waking hour.
That's what I mean. And speaking of which, we've got a really big round 3 set up for next week.
Yep, considering the NRL is starting very soon. Probably when you see this, about a week from now. We're going to give you a brief rundown of the round 3 games and who we think's going to win. You want to take it there, Zach?
We'll try. All right, so for the first one, we've got the Broncos versus the Eels. Now, we've got... Dobbin and I agreed on most of the matchings up for next week.
But this is one of the ones we disagree on.
This is the one that we disagree on. So I'll take the first pick in saying that the Broncos versus the Eels, the Broncos will come up top. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but at the same time, the Broncos, they had a really good 2 first rounds. Now, there's been a 2-month break between that. We need to respect that.
And it's very hard, just clarification, it's very hard to pick who's going to win these games based off... 2 months is a long time. There's no real recent form we can base it on. Only pure speculation and, just a feel of the teams.
Oh, exactly. That being said, though, we cannot take for granted the fact that the Broncos had a great start to the season. They had 2 games where they...
Yeah.
I'll be honest, they absolutely killed it. Now...
Not to mention the fact it's most likely going to be a home game for the Broncos.
Yeah, exactly. Not to mention, in my heart... The Eels, they've got such a great setup this year. They've got a good roster this year. I would not be surprised if they get taken down by the Broncos. No.
Yeah.
I said that drunkenly wrong. I would not be surprised if the Eels took down the Broncos.
Yeah.
However, the Broncos had a good start to the season. They've been going well. If they keep up the same rate they're going through for all their mid 2-month season of training, everything like that.
Yeah.
If they kept to that, that would be a very contentious game.
Yeah. So I take it, Zach, you're back in the Broncos?
I am back in the Broncos.
And based on my feeling, I'm going with the Eels. Now, moving on to the first game of Friday night, I believe we have the same opinion on this. Cowboys versus Titans. Well, Cowboys are a fantastic team. They are far better than the Titans, who are arguably one of the worst teams in the comp. So I believe this will be an absolute washout.
Oh, no doubt about it. I'm just going to make a point because Dobbin was drunk and so am I. You said the Titans were going to be an absolute... Okay. I'm not going to add anything
Cowboys are going to win the game.
My mind is broken, honestly, at this point.
We're very fucky.
The Cowboys are going to win this. Yeah. And if anything happened otherwise, I'd be very, very worried. I would be that worried, to be honest with you. We'll go to the next game, which is the
Roosters and Rabbits.
Oh, well, it's a classic matchup.
It'll be a very good matchup and very tight. While both teams have very good rosters, Roosters starting this season quite poorly. I think losing both in the first 2 rounds.
That's true.
However, Rabbits have had a lot of, player controversies with, Cody Walker, like I mentioned before, and Latrell Mitchell. I believe that the Roosters will come up on top. What is your opinion, Zach?
Well, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, the Rabbitohs have been thrown with so much controversy the past few weeks.
Yeah. They'll be a bit uneasy.
It's the team agenda. Of course, that's going to have an effect on it. And that's the worry. I mean, at the same day, maybe the Rabbitohs will be on the top by the end of the season. But this game right now, the game they're facing right now, they're hitting... Morale has gone low.
And I think Roosters will be switched on with this kick-off to the second half of the season.
I think Roosters will be switched on. The morale for the Rabbitohs will be low.
Yeah.
So I'd have to give it to the Roosters.
On to Saturday night's game, we have Warriors versus Dragons. And I think me and Zach are of the same opinion here. I think the Warriors have had a lot of trouble and, difficulties coming into the start of the NRL season considering they're from New Zealand. And we think Dragons will run away with this game.
Oh, I think the Dragons, if they don't run away with this game, it's going to be a grim point in time.
Something's wrong.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Look, honestly, I mean the Dragon. Look, they have to run away with this. They had a good start to the season.
They got to continue their form.
The Warriors are not going well with the start of the season. We're keeping in mind 2 rounds from around about 2 months ago. 2 months ago. I don't know.
Dragons should win this game. It should be quite convincing. And then our second Saturday night game covers Cronulla and Tigers. And personally, as a Tigers fan, I believe that we've got a fairly decent side this year and we should beat Cronulla, although it will be a tight game.
And look, I have to agree with you. I'm not biased towards the Tigers because of yourself, but I'm gonna say that the Tigers are gonna run away with this Cronulla game.
Yeah, I agree.
Look, I think it's gonna be a bit more of a tight game than we expect.
Yeah, but I feel like one team will come up just ahead of the other one in the end.
I have to agree with you. We run on to probably one of the most tight games of it all. The Storms versus the Raiders. What do you think?
Oh, it'll be probably one of the best games of the week. Probably behind like Raiders, Rabbits. But I think Storm are a very strict team and have a lot of confidence coming to this and should defeat the losers in the grand final last year with the Raiders.
Yeah, look, I have to say the Storm are very strict in their procedure or everything like that. The training, everything like that. Look, they've got it down packed. They've had some issues throughout the time.
They're a consistent team over the past 5-10 years.
They've been consistent. I would say,
very good roster.
For whether I'd like it or not, I would have to back the Storm on this one.
Yep. And finally, on our Sunday night fixtures, the first one is Panthers and Knights, which will, in my opinion, another tough game.
Another tough game. I'll take it straight away. The Panthers had a really good first round 1 and round 2.
Yeah.
I think the Panthers have got this.
I think they've got this as well. And finally, Manly versus Bulldogs, and I think I'll say this for the both of us. Manly should run away this game. Game as Bulldogs, quite an unconvincing team, not very good, not a good roster. Manly had a solid season last year and a fairly decent start to this season.
Honestly, if the Bulldogs win this game, it's very sad.
It's
very sad.
I can't even imagine it happening, honestly. Okay, so after reviewing both our tips and a bit of quick preview of round 3, we've got a new segment this week with the NRL. The Smash Multi of the Week, brought to you by about 15 minutes of research before we started this podcast. Now we don't really encourage betting or gambling, as it's bet at your own risk.
It's not a great thing to do. You just need to calm down.
You got to calm down, be
just
sensible.
Enjoy, just sensible.
But I can speak for me and Zach in this behalf. But we don't mind a bet every now and then. And this week I'm going to give you a 4-legger on the NRL that I may or may not encourage you to put money on if you're going to bet.
I will be putting money on it.
And I probably will be too, but So first up, we have Eagles to beat the Broncos, Cowboys to beat the Bulldogs. Cowboys to beat the Titans, Dragons to come up over the Warriors. And finally, we have Manly to beat the Bulldogs. In my opinion, a reasonably safe multi with not a bad payout.
It's not a bad payout at all. My honest opinion is the only problem with that leg, the Broncos versus the Eels, but we have controversial opinions. We're open to that. We have controversial opinions on it.
But at the end of the day, to have a good bet, you've got to have something with fairly
fairly middle grounds to it. I would say
to get something paying out worth your stake.
And on to the final review for the alcohol we reviewed this week. Yep. The gin.
Just going to quickly finish up.
We're going to quickly finish up because at the end of the day, the camera's running out of charge.
We're running low on time and it's quite late.
We don't know what's going to go on. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I have to go to work tomorrow. You don't.
I'm tired as fuck.
But I haven't slept. You need
I need some sleep. Okay.
So,
I'll kick us off. So basically, today we had the gin from ALDI. We tried it both as a shot and then with 2 tonic mixes, a grapefruit tonic and a bit of lemon. So we've given it a fair go. And overall, it wasn't too bad. I've given it a 13.5 out of 20. Haven't tried much gin in my time. Usually I'd go for other alcohols, but you know what? It wasn't the worst thing. How'd you rate it, Zach?
Look, I'm the same. I haven't had many gyms in my lifetime, but I'll tell you what, this was grim.
Bit of a clashing opinion here.
This gin was grim. I've had a few gins in my time. I don't like them, but I still had them. This is not something that for a gin person I would say you drink.
So you wouldn't recommend it?
It's got an alright score. I'm gonna evaluate the score. 11.5 out of 20. It's not the worst score.
It's still a pass.
It's still a pass, but at the same time, for gin lovers, don't drink this.
Yeah, I think overall, you might as well pay a bit extra for a better brand if you really like your gin.
So everyone, this concludes the episode episode 3
Pub
of
night.
Pub Night. It's been an emotional journey for the two of us because, God knows, we have run into so many
We've
electronic issues.
So many technical difficulties. We've been sitting here for absolutely hours trying to get this shit done and filming it.
Exactly, and the worst part is we're like nearly a vodka bottle down, so it has been really hard to organise it.
Clarify, about a vodka bottle down and maybe near half bottle of gin finished, but it's been a long night. In our drunken states, we tried to do the best we could, and we hope all the footage is there.
We give the most authentic experience. So if it randomly cuts, just give us some sympathy because
Just
Jesus,
understand what happened.
we're trying to do this the best we can.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, anyway, guys, as usual, I've been Sam, and this has been Zach, and thank you for tuning in to Pub Night. We'll catch you guys soon.
We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy.
Take it easy.